Hey guys, I just finished watching Breaking Bad episode 1 and it was so much fun. It was so good. I really liked it. Now, I was confused at first because what I thought that first scene was from the end of the show because I know that scene looks similar because I've seen memes, guys. I've seen memes, I have heard spoilers, so I do know, well, not like really like episode by episode spoilers, I just know how it ends. I know the fate of someone's life in this series. Obviously, like, he has terminal cancer, so he's going to die, right? So I know that. And I think that one meme that I've seen was from the scene where he dies at the end. I don't know. That all being said, I thought that first scene was from the end of the entire show. So I was like, damn, why are they showing that right now? You know what I mean? But I was like, wow, this really does set up the kind of character we're going to be dealing with in this show, because the first thing I noticed was he said, hey, and this isn't me admitting guilt, this is just for my family, right? And already I was like, okay, so still, even in the end, this guy has this ego, this guy has this pride about himself. I am going to love this character. What we think are encroaching officers are arriving at the scene of what had happened, right? They're actually firefighters. They're arriving at the scene, and instead of killing himself immediately, right, he decide, hey, I'm gonna take these cars out. He points the gun at you, right? But then at the end of the episode, it's shown that, nah, he would have actually killed himself. I thought that was a little I thought that was a little, okay, this is kind of taking a little 0.1 piece away from his character for me, because I thought he was just like, if I'm going out, you're gonna fucking kill me. Like, that's the only way I'm going out, is if you guys kill me. So when he pointed his gun to the approaching cop cars, I was like, right on. But, you know, he would rather die than face his actions, right? Than face going to jail, than face the reputation that comes along with selling drugs and etc., right? So we move on to present day, right? And there's this absolutely dry, disgusting, horrific sex scene. I've never seen sex drier than that in my life. It was awful. I was like, there is no way this bitch is on her laptop watching the game while jacking her husband off, and she thinks he's gonna nut that way. And she's like, are you gonna paint the shed or whatever, paint the room, whatever the fuck she was talking about? You gonna paint the room? How are you gonna get him off if you have him thinking about work? So I was like, what the hell is she talking about? Why is she bringing up the painting the shed, work, etc., while trying to get him off, and it's his birthday? Like, you're not doing it right, sis. You're not doing it right. So then there's this party, there's this whatever. The sister is weird. Walter's wife's sister, she's freaking weird. I don't like her energy. His son, it looks like he has cerebral palsy. So, okay, I don't know if he struggles with that in real life or if his acting is that good. Because at first I was going to say he's a really bad actor, right? Because I saw him in the first scene, and the way he was delivering his lines are on par with someone who has cerebral palsy, right? But I didn't know he had cerebral palsy until I saw the crutches, right? So at first I'm like, why is he delivering his lines like that? Like, I didn't understand it, but then I understood it. So Walter works 2 jobs. He's a chemistry teacher by day, and by afternoon, I guess he works at a car shop, convenience shop, like O'Reilly's or something. I don't know. He works at like Jiffy Lube or some shit, and he washes cars. And he just works very degrading jobs, right? Like the mechanic shit, the Jiffy Lube, O'Reilly, wherever the hell that is, AutoZone, that is a degrading job. And even his students see him working there and they're like, haha, LOL, typical high school shit. Take a picture of him. And he's like, wow, this is some degrading shit. Now, what I do want to applaud, Walter dissociating, right? When he's at the hospital and the doctor's like, you have cancer, like, we as the audience cannot hear what the doctor's saying. Walter cannot hear what the doctor's saying. Instead, he's focused on this mustard. As a psychologist, I couldn't help but notice, like, how brilliant it was that he was like, I'm hearing you, right? But he's focused on something else. He doesn't want to think about this, right? And They seem to be a really poor family to the point where Walter's like, hey, I've been fucking sick. He's been sick as a dog. He has cancer and it's terminal and it's stage 4, it sounds like, honestly. If it's inoperable, to me, that means there's nothing they can do to stop the progression of the cancer. So, yeah, he's stage 4 lung cancer. They ask him, do you smoke? He's like, no, never. And like the way he was breathing and the little, yeah, like he's a goner. He's a goner. It's just so funny how it takes a man, it takes people, some people, coming to terms with their mortality before they really live, right? Now, this is a lesson you learn in Puss in Boots. Puss in Boots 2, The Last Wish. Very good movie. Go to theaters, go see it. It's so good. In Breaking Bad, on his way to the hospital, they're like, is there anybody you want me to call? He's like, no, I'm not gonna worry my family with me going to the hospital. And they're gonna be worried about the insurance and so on and so forth. No, just take me straight to the hospital, it's fine. He's even like, can you just drop me off at the corner somewhere? So it's really sad. And it makes me sad and it makes my heart hurt a little bit to watch an old, sickly person have to work a day job like that. And so I know he's not supposed to be seen as sympathetic or whatever, but I can't help like the human emotion to sympathize with a sickly old man working a minimum wage job, right? And he's sickly and he's just like, he's dying. And it is degrading. He's on his knees, he's scrubbing, you know, somebody has to do this work, right? Obviously. But just seeing an old sickly man do it, it was kind of like, ooh, you know, I felt better watching him cook meth. I don't know. Like, I don't know. That's what this show does. It's not set up so you could so much as be like, aw, like, yeah, this is a better job for him. Yeah. Like, yes, you deserve to work at a better, less degrading place, right? It's not set up so you can be like that. It's set up so you can be like, oh, I understand why someone would rather do this than that, right? He's at the family gathering and his brother-in-law is like, yeah, like, we caught a couple guys, 700 grand. 700 grand? And I'm over here doing a day job. I'm over here working minimum wage and I could be making 700 grand doing shit that I teach students. Well, it's not like he teaches them how to make meth, but he teaches chemistry, right? And that's all meth is chemistry. He's like, I could be making 12 times the money that I'm making in these stupid day jobs, in this stupid minimum wage job. I could be making probably 20 times the money I could be making if I cook meth, which, hey, I'm a chemistry teacher. I know how to do it. I'm good at it. I would be good at it. And he is good at it, right? He made some really good stuff, apparently, right? And so I judge first episodes really, really harshly. And I do think this is a really effective first episode, right? It told its own story in an episode. And I love when pilots do that. I love when episodes in general do that, right? Something that comes to my mind immediately is Attack on Titan, Two Brothers. That episode told a story in itself, like in a vacuum, that was its own story. Obviously, it was a part of a greater story, but I love when an episode tells its own story. So you get your beginning of the episode, your climax, and then your end, right? And it's not like, oh, SpongeBob, oh, after this episode, everything goes back to default or reset. No. It's like, it's a continuum. It's really hard to do, but it's really, really effective, especially if you want people to come back. And like, you have to leave enough curiosity, right? Like, that's how it's so difficult. How do I tell an entire story in this pilot? Like, in a vacuum, it's its own story. And then keep people interested to keep coming back to see what happens after this pilot, right? And I think this was really effective. Like, honestly, I give this, as a first episode, I think I have to give this a 10 out of 10. Because there were slow parts, but I understand why they were slow, right? Like, the boring life with his family, right? The horrible sex scene, the, breakfast, vegan bacon and all this shit. Like, it was so, so you were supposed to feel, okay, this is tedious. This is kind of boring, right? And guys, I fucking knew he was going to fuck his wife. I knew he was going to do that. I knew he was going to fuck his wife at the end. I knew it. She's like, hey, I don't know what's going on with you. I don't know what's going on in your head. I don't know where you're at. All I'm saying is don't shut me out. And of course, that's the one thing he's gonna do. But now that he has come to terms with, hey, my time's running out. Hey, I'm about to die. And it's more than a midlife crisis. That's the thing about it, right? Like, it's, oh, a midlife crisis. Oh, he's 50. So, like, his family is kind of chalking it up to, oh, yeah, he just turned 50. That's a big deal. Like, midlife crisis. 50, you're almost dead. You're at that half point. You're almost dead, right? So that's the excuse on the outside, right? That because they don't know what's going on in his head. They don't know he has cancer. All they know is he turned 50. That's all they got. So that's what they're working off of. So it's not like he could tell his family that's struggling with money, hey, I have cancer. It's not like he's gonna give them one more thing to worry about. And chemo's expensive, et cetera, et cetera. It's just so much shit like piled up. The perfect storm for someone who's skilled in chemistry, who learns recently that there's this much money in this market. Done deal. Obviously, the most logical thing for him to do is get that job. I know that could get me killed, bro. I know that could get me like, ooh. But it's so easy, and his time is running out. He can't afford chemo. He doesn't have insurance. His family is broke, right? What is he gonna do? What else can he do? And it's a shame that this system, the bigger problem here, okay, let's look at the bigger picture. The bigger problem here is healthcare is at a point where it makes more sense for an old, sickly man to get a job cooking meth, to pay for his chemo, to pay for the hospital. It makes more sense for him to do that than anything else. Now, if that's what makes the most sense, if I'm sitting here like, yeah, I can see why he did that, that's a problem. That's a healthcare problem. That's a healthcare issue. Now, obviously, we can sit here and go through all different like miasmas of things that he could have done, but he is a chemistry teacher. This is the most efficient, most effective thing he could do, like to get money now, because he needs it. Now, I don't know if he's going to pay for chemo with this money. I don't know. I'm only on the first episode. So I don't know what he's going to do when he makes it big, essentially. I don't know if these two people, Emilio and his brother, I don't know if they're dead. I just want to say I loved how he took them out with chemicals. What else could he do, right? And he was holding his breath in there that whole time. Iconic. And he's funny. And I was going to say that his partner, his old chemistry student, I was gonna say he's kind of bad at acting, but I know a few people who do drugs and they kind of do act exactly how he acts. They say weird words like that and their delivery is just off. So I don't know if he's a really good actor or a really bad actor, but I know some people who are, they do drugs and their brain is kind of fried out and they do talk and act the exact same way that the guy talks and acts. I was like, is he a really good actor or a really horrible one? Because his delivery is so weird. Then I'm trying to remember, okay, this is like a user of meth. I don't know. Does he use? I don't know. He makes it. So maybe he does use it. I don't know. Just want to highlight that one part where the kids are making fun of his son's cerebral palsy. They're like, Mommy, I got my big boy pants. Help me put my pants on. I was kind of questioning that scene, like, why did Walter leave? But he left through the back and came in through the front again to make it seem like, hey, I'm not with them, as to not embarrass them, the family, the mom and the son, right? So I'm assuming he left and pretended like they weren't a part of the same party, just to not embarrass his family, but at the same time to stand up for his son, which I thought was iconic. And again, it's this zest for life that he has now that he knows he's running out of time, right? Would the old Walter have done that? Probably not. No, the old humble Walter working overtime, he wouldn't have done something so bold. But since he's like, hey, I got, what was it, 2 years, 2 months? I forgot. 2 something. He has 2 something to live, right? 2 becomes 1 real quick, right? So he's like, fuck it. I'm going all out. I'm going all in on these people. Fuck it. And so, yeah, I just want to say that these are my thoughts. Can't wait to see if those 2 people are actually dead. Can't wait to see how or if he ever breaks it to his wife, I have cancer. The meth thing is going to be, I don't know. He might take that one to the grave, or like he did in this first episode, he might record, hey, so you're only gonna find this out posthumously. I was a meth cooker. Sorry. And then again, I can't wait to see how things unfold with his brother-in-law being an officer. I know this is going to be a really big problem. This is going to be a really big issue, especially since it's like a family. It's going to make some really intense scenes in the future. I know it is, and I cannot wait to see them. Anyways, that is all. I'm going to head over and watch Beluga the Jaegerist his video. Sorry, I just cringed a little bit. It's your name. It's not you. It's your name. But I'm gonna watch Beluga the Jaegerist's video and see what he thought about this first episode. I thought it was pretty dope, and I can't wait to see more. Goodbye. Oh, that's another thing. Do you guys want me to watch each episode and post a video reacting to each episode, or would you prefer a like compilation of episodes 1 through 6, my reaction, or like episodes 6 through 12, my reaction? Like, how do you guys want this formatted? Because my idea was I'm just gonna post them episode by episode. That was my idea. Anyways, I hope this gets some people who haven't seen Breaking Bad before to start watching it, so we can all just be watching it together. I think that would be cool. Anyways, bye.